6, when you said, things you have been accountable on, tomorrow, just saving, growing with God, going to the gym more, being more selfless, starting real estate and taking schoolwork and reading more books. And so my actual plan was to actually start going to bed earlier and just spend less time on my phone.
All right.
Most time when I get ready to go to bed, I'm on my phone.
All right. Pause. Let me pause for a second. You have great ideas. The main element I asked you to do was make it what? Measurable. You're using words like more and less and more often. Guess what they can make you end up doing? You need to make it measurable. Go to bed at what time? Just give me some examples.
Probably 11, 12.
Ain't even no probably. Be specific. What time do you need to go to bed?
11.
11. Cutoff time, right? 11. There's no right or wrong. It's only cause and, you see where I'm going with this? If y'all are vague, confusion causes procrastination. If you don't know what you're doing, you will not do enough and you'll do too much and still waste your time. Y'all get where I'm going? You said get closer to God. Did I hear that?
Yes, sir.
By doing what? Make it measurable.
Meditating, praying, and worshiping.
How often and how long?
I got that.
See? Not being measurable is a key component to procrastination. Study more ain't good enough. You need to know how often you're going to be studying. Do you understand? You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, sir.
Everything you told me was great, but the cause and effect suffers because you don't have a measuring tool. All right? Anything else? Other things?
We put make / plan like every day, every morning. Like we wake up or make one the day before, night before, get out the shower, something like that.
All right, I hear either or. How can we make it measurable and strategic? What can we do? What you just told me.
Every morning when you wake up, think of right now a plan that you're going to do for that day, checklist or something. Yeah.
At what time?
A week, 7:30 before your first class. I'm gonna say that because not everybody has the same schedule. I'm gonna say that before your first class.
All right, before your first class. Now, if we make it measurable, how can we hold the brotherhood accountable with that task you just gave? How can we hold that accountable? What do you think brotherhood should do to increase accountability with that task?
Wake up early, wake up on time.
Wake up early, wake up on time. What if we had an email address that everybody sent in their task list by 7:30 every morning? Do you see how that's different than saying I'm gonna just do something? Because if you're not accountable, you create room for what?
Procrastination.
You see what I'm saying? So now, how about this? I'm gonna create a to-do list. That to-do list won't be bombarding your email or nothing like that. Create a brotherhood email or something that you can document that, hey, I created my list and send it by a certain time. The reason why grades are suffering is because we're not adhering to schedules and different details in the syllabus. See what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what procrastination also does. It makes small things bigger than they really appear. Have y'all ever procrastinated on an assignment and it looked really difficult until you read it and only you find out it only takes 5 minutes to do? Procrastination also creates false gods. Makes something way bigger than you ever imagined. Yeah? What else?
Quick follow through. I actually like whenever you make the plan you make actually follow through with it, which should prevent procrastination. Like if you know this is your set time, do it then follow through with what you said because you know that affects accountability and it affects keeping your word to yourself.
Let's make it measurable. Follow through no later than 10 minutes after a task or after an idea has been brought up in my mind. I'm gonna give you an example of what I did for myself. One year, right before I created my own business, I decided that every time I thought about a person, I would text that person. I held myself accountable. Y'all ever thought about a person like, I've been meaning to reach out to this person? I started, but check this out. One year I kept losing people I was thinking about. So I waited until pain happened before my accountability took off. I don't want y'all to wait until you lose something to learn something. Y'all understand? Manhood is not only accountable, but it's also, what is that? It's proactive. It's not reactive. You do things before the punishment. You understand? All right. So yeah, I'm going to follow through on my task right after I complete the task or think about the task. I'm going to tell you something too. Y'all ever heard of deadlines? Procrastination goes down when you create lifelines, not deadlines. Let's break down the word real quick. Deadlines offer punishment. When you hear the word dead, people fear the walking dead. People fear dying, don't they? So why operate off deadlines when you can operate off lifelines? Don't operate when something is supposed to be done. Operate when you have the opportunity to start. Does that make sense? So just because it's due doesn't mean that's when you need to have it done. It's due in May, create a lifeline in February. Remember that umbilical cord I said it was attached to my daughter? Create it sooner. You'd be surprised what you'll learn through the line of life. Create another umbilical cord between you and that assignment. What else?
Don't be afraid to ask questions and don't be afraid to ask for help. Or basically, like, once you know you need help, go ahead and ask for it. Like,
when?
They ain't there.
Right at that moment?
Or at least, I'm not gonna say right, at least within a 10-minute time frame, because somebody could be busy. So.
All right. If you can't ask that person right then, do you think as soon as I have a question and I can't ask it right then, I got 10 minutes to send that email? Write it down, make it miserable. Every time I want to ask a person a question and they are not available, I got 10 minutes to ask it in email or text message. All right, what else?
Find time to make a plan. Well, we are assisted though.
Find what?
Find time to make a plan. That's what.
Find time. How much time do you need to make a plan?
10-15.
All right. So what part of the day do we need to notate for planning? What's a good planning time of the day?
I say first thing in the morning.
I promise you it's first thing in the morning. You want to know why? Your blood is flowing first thing in the morning. When the sun is up, guess what? The hormones feed the brain. My grades changed in undergrad when I started studying early in the morning when the sun was rising than when it was done. Because I was sleepy at night and I was not retaining information. Didn't like waking up early, but when I started finding out I was retaining information, I just started studying early. I had 11 o'clock class, I was up at 6:30 studying. I was retaining everything. Not because I liked it, it's because the sun was up. That's something. Anything else?
Separate ourselves from distractions.
By doing what?
By tuning them out, letting somebody know that you're doing this, communication.
Make it measurable. What can we do to make that measurable?
5 minutes before you get started assignment, let who you know is going to text you or who's going to try to bother you, anything like that. Let them know that you're doing this at this time. You send that text message or email if you have to at 5 minutes before you start the assignment.
How about this? When you're doing an assignment, phone is off and in another room. What you think? Phone is off and in another room. I got to the point I put my phone in the car. See how weird it can get? I was addicted to my phone. Checking it. Next thing you know, you're checking it. Next thing you on it. Next thing you know, 3 hours pass. It's midnight, and you got to test it at. Something that simple. All right? Y'all understand why I'm telling you to make it measurable? You see how detailed it is. Because if it's vague, you're going to procrastinate. Detail makes you disciplined. Write that down. Details make you disciplined. Not just the task itself. You need details. Like this, you ever had your car detailed before? You ever seen somebody detail a car? That's different from just a $5, $10 car wash, isn't it? When it's detailed, it looks much more presentable, doesn't it? But when somebody says, I just have, it's one thing by having a car wash and then having a detail shop. Totally different. Don't the price go up in detail? How about this? How about your earning potential goes up when you are detailed? Just like a car wash. Did I help you at all? What y'all got?
I got eat healthier.
Eat healthy. By doing what?
Cutting out things that can cause you to, like if you're trying to lose weight, kind of cut out like fats and other things that you're eating too much of.
Be specific. What are you going to stop eating today?
Pork. I stopped eating pork.
Pork. The first thing or the only thing?
That's the first thing. I also cut back on like sweets, like candy and like.
What does cut back mean?
Eating less of.
Limited.
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 Limited. Is it measurable?
Nope.
Less than what? You see what I'm talking about? Make it measurable. Either you're going to eat it 2 days out of the week, 1 day out of the week. See the difference? Details. Less of means I'm going to procrastinate and make eat too much of it. And I'll start back next week. And next week's turn into next week. And next week turn into next year. And 10 years later, you still got the same goal. I was supposed to lose 100 pounds 10 years ago. See what I'm talking about? What else you got?
I said learn how to cook.
Learn how to cook. When?
This year.
This year? What date?
Possibly sometime this semester.
What date?
November 1st. Started, when I get paid.
When do you get paid?
This Friday.
What's the date? What's Friday's date?
21st. 22nd, my bad.
October 22nd. What time you get off work?
Well, I usually get out of classes at around like 3, 4:30, somewhere around
4:30. How much time do you need to cook when you get home?
there. Possibly like a good hour.
Hour.
Depending on what I'm cooking.
For the sake of time, you need to find a recipe that you can get done by 7 o'clock this Friday. What you gonna do? You have a group chat?
Yeah.
You on it? Have a home cooked meal, take a picture, upload about it to group chat by 7 p.m. How many of y'all gonna check out and see if it doesn't?
I'll be able to do
You see how deep it goes? I'm gonna learn eventually. Then it turned into this semester. Then it turned into this Friday. Then it turned into this Friday 7. Then it turned into this Friday 7. And the picture of the done food has to be uploaded by 7 o'clock.
Then turns to this at 7, you have extra, so I do 2.
Sample.
But you see, now what's the difference of the level of accountability from when you first started to how every time I kept asking? What's the difference in the level of accountability?
It kind of, I guess, went down a little bit.
It went up. The truth will set you
Free.
What will the truth set you free from?
The fear of letting down, in favor of lacking this sensitivity or intelligence for descendants, history, culture.
Truth will set you free from procrastination and fear. Boom. 2 hours in a sentence. But I had to break it down so it would make sense. Guess what happens? If I'm making sense, it's the opposite of crass. Crass is insensitive, isn't it, right? If I'm making sense, I'm surgical with this stuff, ain't it? Did y'all have any questions? Did you learn anything?
Yes, sir.
Was your time wasted?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how to teach what you've learned today?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure? Remember, I'm not trying to be impressed. Are you sure you know how to teach what you've learned today? You got it written down, right? Do you think you can run a program on campus to teach what you learned today? Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. How about this? Brotherhood challenge. What's today's date?
20th.
Midterms already done?
Hold on.
How about this? Brotherhood challenge. 2 weeks from today, PowerPoint presentation, put on a program for the community, promote it, serve the people, show them what you learned, record it, send it to me. 2 weeks from today.
Let me put them count just like people like 30.
You don't have to, and what I just said, don't have to be difficult. Y'all know that, right?
First.
Wednesday, 2 Wednesdays from now is the deadline. When is the lifeline?
Today.
Huh?
Today.
I gave you 2 weeks. You can get this done in 2 hours. Procrastination will make you wait till next Wednesday. I mean, 2 Wednesdays from now.
Can't even do that. What we got planned for these plans?
You feel me? How about this? If you create a lifeline, it won't even be difficult. You got all the notes. One person can type this up real quick, talk about it real quick, record. The program ain't got to be an hour. The program can be damn near 15 minutes. I just asked you to have a program real quick. Invite some folks, teach it to them, record it. Simple. Put it on YouTube. Let them look at it later on. You probably ain't even got to have it on audience. Record yourself presenting it and upload it. Documentation and evidence that you learned from what Mr. Ackhouse has given you. That's on your resume, isn't it? Now you got documentation, and if you're looking for a job, they know you got presentation skills. Not wasting your time, is it? Every time I'm asking you to do something, has a bigger goal involved. All right? You have been an amazing audience today. Give yourself a round of applause.